Show. Good afternoon, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and joined this week on part 2 of our 6-part series. And, well, as always, the stunningly gorgeous Stephanie is here, and it's her birthday on Sunday, guys. So wish her a happy birthday. We are so pleased to have her with us. It's always a pleasure to have Stephanie on. And I know you guys enjoy her input as well. As smart as she is beautiful, and let's get this show rolling. We're going to say hi to the chat, and then we are going to, Stephanie and I are going to look at some art. Are you ready, Steph?
Yay! Yes, I'm so excited for this episode, actually.
And what Stephanie started last week, we're going to keep going. We're going to show a piece, and before Stephanie gives her opinion, we're going to get some reactions from the audience first. All right, so, but first in, we have Las Cruces. How you doing, sir? Joe, Anachronic Comics. All right, and Brian LCS. Hello, sir. Good show this morning. Fanboy Prime. Good morning, sir. Nice to see you. Welsh Dragon Funko Hunter. Nice to see you, sir. And Doug Bratton is here. How you doing, Doug? Izzy Voice is here. Nice to see you, Izzy. Mark Andrews is here. Guys, April 25th, he will be on the 1011, so make sure you have that show bookmarked. Trev, the shipping guru. Morning, Trev. Nice to see you, buddy.
Trev.
Yes, it is a good Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Always a good Saturday when you're spending it with friends. Yeah. Phil Tasset Comics and Arts. Phil. Good. So we have a bunch of people that can give us some opinions today. Steve Smith is wishing you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yay, Chop! Yay! I told you. I'll see you later, Chop. I saw him at Breakfast with Brian.
Yep. I saw you guys in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's always a good hangout. I love hanging out.
So we had this cut in. And as I was, so guys, I was so busy, trying to get Stephanie out there for her birthday and get the birthday wishes out. But this is Savage Saturday Comic Review, episode 109. And this week, the portfolio we are reviewing is of Doug Beekman. Now, I sent Alex Big Blue. How you doing? Now, last week, Stephanie picked this one, and we're going with it. I sent her the pictures. She seemed to have enjoyed this portfolio quite a bit, so we'll see what her opinions are. And at the end of this episode, just like we did last week, I will hold up the remaining portfolios, and Stephanie will make another choice for our next week. So without further ado, we are going to get into the first piece. And you and I were chatting so much, I keep putting them in different places, Stephanie.
Sorry.
All right, let's see if I got this layout down any better this week now. So our first piece is the one that opens the portfolio. And there is a lot going on with this piece. Conan is breaking his chains very, very dramatically. You have a sorceress and a sorcerer on the side. You have a couple monsters coming towards Conan, plus a demon rising out of the pits or the pool of something. But you have a lot of different textures going on here, a lot of different effects. And I think this is just atmosphere upon atmosphere and just savage. So we are going to turn it over to the chat first and get your guys' opinions on it. So we are going to, I already have it queued up there. So everyone in the chat, seeing this piece, what do you guys think of it? Like it? And Alex Big Blue in here. We have Fanboy Prime saying it's beautiful. And but it's a piece that I like, and I think it's a good opener. We got people coming in slowly here, Steph, but we're gonna make you big here in a second, and we'll start it out while everybody's warming up. We'll get your opinion on this first one, and it keeps disappearing. Izzyverse saying who did the piece? We are doing Doug Beekman. All the art you see this week is by Doug Beekman. Alex Big Blue is saying it's pretty cool. And no, not me, Stephanie. Come on now. All right. I know, right? That I don't like the new button switches. It messes me up. Chop is saying he loves the detail. Trev, the shipping guru, is saying he needs a better view. Stephanie, did you want to hold your copy up real quick? Stephanie printed them all out this week so she could look at them better.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Fanboy
Yeah,
saying
okay.
the testosterone is real in that piece.
What'd you say? I know, huh?
And Steve Smith is saying good picture reminiscent of Frazetta. Doug Beatman is very much like that. His body structures, his musculature is all pretty good, I think. But let's go with an informed opinion. Stephanie, what do you think?
Well, you picked my favorite so far of all the ones we're going to review.
Oh.
Okay, so you really knocked it out of the park with this one. This one is beautiful. The composition is okay, but it works. The muscles are, there's many. There's many muscles. There might be too many muscles. And I gotta say, like, if I'm gonna be, this was my favorite one by far. I love the monster coming out of the smoke, climbing up the stairs, and the ethereal, the etherealness of this coming in the background is cool. But unfortunately, I think his neck up here is too big. And I think that this artist might have a little bit of trouble with making, like, he'll make really big chests, but his hands will be very tiny.
Oh.
And I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but I think he has trouble with, like, the bottom half of the arms when he's making them.
I've noticed that in other pieces of his that we don't have here in this portfolio, because he's done a lot of Conan art, and his art appeared on a lot of the Conan graphic novels that Marvel used to do back in the day, and also a Call of Atlantis one, which was a really nice picture of him by him. But Izzyverse says he agrees with the neck; it's distracting. And Trev says tiny hands. And thank you, Vanboy Prime. But Beekman does have some proportion issues, Mark Andrews saying. All right, but overall, I think it's a nice piece, and I think it's a great depiction of what you would expect from that fictitious world of Conan the Barbarian. And Fanboy Prime says, now I hate it. Turbo Man Todd says, hard to do push-ups with tiny hands.
Oh. That's funny. This, I think, though, this is really quintessential fantasy,
Right.
Fantasy world drawn in that style. Very right. Dungeons and Dragony.
I like that it actually creates a whole atmosphere and world.
Mm-hmm.
D. Jackson Roy Kirk is here. Good afternoon, sir.
What's up?
All right, so we will go back and let's see. And so I'm going to hold up the next piece, so everyone get ready. Now, this next piece is a favorite of mine. I just like the adventure of it. I think it captures adventure really well.
Okay.
And I also like the oranges and yellows on this one a lot. And we were talking about this piece, Conan hanging off the side of a ship, the damsel hanging on his muscular neck there. And I think it's just a great action piece. And I don't know, I love the colors on this one. I think the colors really pop. And I think Conan, in contrast to the yellow and the orange in the back, just him and the woman really pop out on this. And I just like the angles. I like them hanging off the ship. So those in the audience, what do you guys think of that piece? And then we'll get Stephanie's opinion. Phil says he likes it, but he feels the proportion off and the depth is off. Huh. And Trev says that's a 10 out of 10 for him. Yeah, I don't know about the proportion. Is Conan? Are you talking about Conan's proportion to the ship? Do you think that he's bigger than he should be to the ship? I'm not sure. I'm not good at judging ship size, so I'm not sure how that would be. But let's see.
I gotta say, this one.
Yes.
This next one you picked, out of all the six that I printed off here, this one is my least favorite.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I know you said you really love it, but I gotta say I have an issue with it. I think
the face is where I have an issue. It looks like he's taking a poop while he's holding on to the ship.
It doesn't look like it looks like it's a struggle for sure. Uh, oh, I think the girl is too small. I think her hand is too small. Once again, I think he's struggling with like this arm right here. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with this
No, no,
arm right
you're
here
good.
coming
Right.
up, and like her arm is kind of, her hand is kind of small, and it just kind of leaves you hanging over this on for composition. It just kind of leaves you hanging over on this side. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and then there. I mean, he's got that great chest again, but
Well, Todd, it's not the size of the ship, Gary. I love innuendo. Let's see. Mark Andrews, come on, hang on to a ship, damsel of the sword. And see what your face looks like. Right, Mark? I hear you, Mark. I hear you. Oh, goodness. But
Mark is funny.
overall, I do like that piece quite a bit.
Okay, and
but
also the
go
colors.
ahead.
The colors are not my fave.
See, that's what really worked for me.
They're
But
very.
keep in mind, I'm also colorblind. So things look different to me sometimes.
I didn't know that. Oh, well then, yeah, they probably do look different. I feel like this is very 80s
Very 80s, huh?
colors. 80s, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, this picture was like a 1990 copyright, so it was probably painted in the 80s.
Yeah.
Trev loves the colors. I have Trev on my side. Haha. Hey, Doug. You know, Joe's not in here to give
Hey,
you.
hey, Dave.
Joe's not in here to give you a hard time this week, Stephanie.
I know. Nobody. Trev, don't take that roll over.
All right. Mark Andrews says the contrast of blues off of the sky than a splash of blue.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it, sir. And Steve Smith, the picture seems strange. If you took away the ship, it looks like they're water skiing.
Totally. Yep. I agree. Steve.
And Dave Bratton's in. Hi, Dave. How you doing, sir? And Mark Andrews says Joe asked him to take over for him. So Mark Andrews will be in opposition of you all day today, Stephanie.
That's not fair, Mark.
All right, so let's get on to our next piece here. And
Sun bearing down. Oh, Phil Tastic says he likes the feeling of the sun bearing down on them.
Oh yeah, thank you. Another person who likes the feeling of the background.
One for you.
Yeah, and Jackson's nailing it too. Most of these portraits are from the 80s and a few from the 70s.
Okay.
All right, so this next piece is just great. It's wild, and I think Stephanie's probably gonna have problems with the arms on this one again, but we'll see.
Okay.
So let me. Oh, you know what? I never advanced our video because we were so busy critiquing it
Sorry.
that I never advanced to the next one. So let's get our video up to speed here. So that was the one we just looked at.
They totally look like they are water skiing if you take that off. Okay, we're doing that one next.
All right, so we're gonna do this one, but first, let me see. And whoops, hold on. I'm gonna make myself the big one here for a second. And so our next piece I'm a sucker for these like mountain pieces and snow. And so you got Conan riding this horse. I think the horse looks fantastic. And you got all these wolves attacking. And I think it's a fun piece, man against nature. I do think the arms on this one are a little funky, but I like the horse on this one and the wolves, and I like the mountainscape. And again, I like the colors for however the colors appear to me. I think I see some pinks and purples in there, which are my hardest ones to pick out actually. And the horse is flying in the air on the clouds, and well, it looks like the horse's his hind legs are pulling to a stop, and his front legs are in the air. Well, hold on. Let's get my non-beautiful face off, and we'll bring the real beauty on screen here for people to connect with and get her view. All right. So, hey Jerry, how you doing today, bud? Nice to see you. Absolutely. So Stephanie, Trev likes this one. And hold on. What's he saying? Did I miss one? Phil says this one is my favorite so far. My biggest complaint is that he feels Conan would have prepared for the snow better. Maybe make sure to bring his North Face. Yep, his wife likes the colors.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Stephanie Jackson says this one is the best one so far. What do you think?
This is my second to least favorite. Sorry.
Just go your mirror view. Go your next way. There.
My issue with this is that I feel like the horse has way too many muscles. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what kind of steroids are given this horse, but this horse has some crazy stuff going on in its chest. He's got a great chest. Once again, like the hand is a little small. The wolves look great. They're all like well done. And the horse, I like the fact that you can see like the cold breath coming out of his nostrils. That's cool. But I really feel like this thing belongs on black velvet. Can you see it?
Fanboy Prime says that horse eats floppy bacon.
Other than that, I mean, and the colors, I just feel like I'm looking at, this could totally, I could drive by and see this on a black velvet,
Black velvet's so 70s too.
I know.
Let's see. Phil is saying the horse deadlifts but skips leg day. Yep. Team Crispy. All right, so not everyone's favorite on that one, even though there's a lot of things about that one I do like. All right, so let's. I'm going to play ahead to the next one, and then I'll show it.
It's a Kentucky Derby horse, as Turboman Todd does.
Ooh. Now this one is fun because it's a complete fantasy pick, I think. But again, I think the right arm angle looks a little weird to me, but I'm going to show it. And let me flop here so I can get my mug up there for a moment. All right. So, again, some nice blues. I think nice work with the shadows. I like the imaginary. I like creatures. So the creatures are fun. You got a lot of them coming in from everywhere on Conan. And for me, the only thing that throws me off about this one, again, I like the face on this one because he's looking surprised. But the right arm, the forearm looks way longer than it should be to me. I don't know if that's accurate for me to judge or not, but that's my general view of it. And Mark and so Fanboy Prime. Oh, Steve Smith on the last one said the colors are good. The one wolf jumping seems off to me. So on this one, Fanboy Prime says the creatures rock. Mark Andrews says that the monsters rock in this one. Again, anatomy is off. And Izzyverse says Conan is having a happy day. Yes, he gets the sleigh. And Trev agrees with me that the arm is definitely off. Turbo Man Todd says, not an art guy, not a fantasy guy, but like Mick Jagger says, I like it, like it, like it. Yes, I do. All right, Steph, and what's your opinion on this?
I'm afraid I'm going to agree with all of you. That arm is off. It looks like it's been like twisted back, and that arm's crazy jacked up. And that's the only thing that really bugs me about it. Other than that, the creatures look great. His muscles, his chest area, once again, that's like his best, piece of anatomy. He's always painting, I think. He probably starts off with the chest, I think, with each painting. And I really enjoy this creature on the bottom. He's kind of sneaking out there. He's
right.
Yeah.
And you know what I noticed is weird, Stephanie, that I never noticed before doing this series with you? Is that when I look at these, right, when I go to take the pictures, the actual lens that I'm looking through brings out more details than my naked eye would bring out at first.
Oh, interesting.
So when I look at the picture through a camera lens, I see more of it. I see more depth in it, which I didn't really notice about pictures before I started doing this.
That's strange.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's get to our comments from the section here. We'll leave my ugly mug off the frame here. Phil says, don't care for it. His arm bothers me. Don't know he can handle the sword one-handed. Both my wife and I think colors clash too much. Steve Smith says, this picture is my favorite so far. I love the whole concept of the picture. The Jackson Roykirk says Sumerians are double jointed. And Phil Tassick says, creator is too bulbous for me too. Oh, creatures, I think he's trying to say. Kind of looks like one of the aliens from Toy Story. Where do you think Toy Story got it from, Phil, huh? Gosh. If the arm was not center of the piece, it would be easier to ignore. But it's right in the middle.
It is, yeah.
With teeth and scarified. All right. So, I don't know. I like the fantasy element of it. I do like the shadows. Because I think what this piece does is gives you a good sense that he's like deep underground and just fighting. It looks underground, even though that looks like it could be a night sky and they're fighting above. But it always feels, this one feels underground to me, even though it may not be.
I do enjoy the blue and the orange colors together. It does feel like it's in the nether regions of the world, you know. Yeah, but that arm.
All right, so
sometimes you just gotta do it over, you know. You can't just be satisfied with.
Well, yeah, so we've all agreed so far that his arms are not the strong point.
No.
All right, so I'm going to show the next one. Bear with me one moment, guys, as I get back up here. So we have, and this one I like too. Another cool creature. This one I don't think the arms are too bad on. Actually, I think they're quite nice. I saved my favorite personal one for last, which I think is his best one. But this one I think is pretty cool. So we'll go slow. Again, you got some heads on a pike. You got a cool looking creature. Looks like Doug Beekman really likes to draw teeth.
Yeah, huh? He does really like those sharp, pointy.
So that's that piece, and I think that's a nice, wild depiction. Because a lot of times when you see Conan art, it doesn't always depict the sword and the sorcery and the creatures of the time. And I think Doug Beekman wasn't afraid to embrace the creatures that were in that fiction. All right, Welsh Dragon, take care, buddy. Mark Andrews says Frazzetto was hardly ever satisfied with his first try. That's why his portfolio is so huge. The Jackson Roykirk says these cover artists were cranking these out quickly back then. I'm guessing. Yeah, I mean they're under commission from Marvel, so they were probably getting things out at a quick pace. The monster arm almost looks like Conan's privates. What?
Now I have to go back and look.
Right? Oh goodness. What else do we have? Oh, hold on a second. Let's fix my screen. There we go. Make Stephanie larger here. All right, and Izzyverse says that he really likes this one. And I agree with Jackson Roykirk too, because you don't know what time frames these guys had to make these in. My favorite piece so far. Mark Andrews says that is a good one. Beekman was a big time creature creator. And Izzyverse says he was referring to the previous piece. Okay. All right. So overall, Stephanie, your thoughts on this one?
I actually think this one's not that bad. That arm is all too small again. The hand's too small up here. I think what happened is there was a guy named Rodin, a sculptor, Rodin, right?
Right.
And he's very famous and he could do these great muscular bodies and everything, but he had real trouble making his hands and feet. So he'd have other sculptors come in and help make his hands and feet for him. So they'd be like the right size and look good. And maybe this guy, Doug, should have had some hand people come in. But I asked my daughter about this one, my 15-year-old, and she said that it reminds her, basically all these remind her of a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And that she thinks that not only does everyone need more clothes, but that she really does enjoy the heads back here. And I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, the heads are nice. And also, I like Conan's hair in this one.
Yeah, it's well coiffed. And the monster's cool in this one too.
Steve Smith says the perspective on Conan finally looks right. Pretty good picture. And Phil Tastic says don't care for the colors of the creature. Trev says the colors are awesome. So you got Phil and Steve having a fight in a Phil and Trev having a fight in the chat. No. And Trev agrees with you. He needs a hands guy. And Phil says Rodan had trouble sculpting because his wings kept getting in the way. Fanboy Prime says less clothes. D. Jackson Roykirk says Rodan was the Liefeld of his day, or the Liefeld of his day. Yeah. I don't know if you know who Rob Liefeld is, Stephanie.
No, I don't.
He's famous for not being able to draw feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so most of his pictures, there's no feet on them. And when he does draw them, people always point them out.
That's what happens. You always try to ignore that part that you can't draw so well, you know.
So how did the creature put those heads on a stake? I always wondered. It didn't have to be the creature. That just could be the territory they're in.
Yeah, just part of the landscape there.
And honestly, if I were Conan, I'd be wearing more. I'd be concerned with getting poison ivy while I'm busy adventuring.
Phil also agrees with my daughter that he needs more clothes.
And we have the comic vet popping in.
Hey, comic vet.
How you doing, Chris? All right, so overall, though, overall, we'll go back to your opinion, Stephanie. So you said you liked it overall. You liked the well-coiffed hair. You still think there's problems with the arms.
The man has problems with tiny hands.
What if he was painting with tiny hands? And that was his only.
That would somehow make sense then.
He might be a tiny hand man.
You know, maybe he's modeling off his own hand. You know.
That's right, Steve. Maybe Conan put the heads on a stake.
That's right.
Yeah, now you got to do a Liefeld review. That would be hilarious. Mm-hmm. Well, at the end of this, we're going to talk about an idea that Stephanie had for future shows. If she's up for it, she can present her idea.
Sure.
Okay. But we're going to get to our last piece. Now, Stephanie, this one's my favorite of his.
Okay.
And I like it for a couple different reasons. I think on this next piece, Conan has a great, look on his face. And you get to see the menace reflected in the water. I think the reflection's great. I like the way the water's going. And we'll get your review of the hand on this because the hand's like really, really front and center in this piece. But let me play it ahead. I will do my thing where I show it on my side first, and then we'll put you back up there big. But
okay,
let's move forward here a bit. And all right, so again, this piece is probably my favorite from Doug Beekman. I just love the expression on Conan's face. Like he's just trying to get a drink of water. Who knows what he just went through? But once you get to the water, you see it's about to become an even worse day for Conan. Because there's what's ahead of him to deal with. And again, a very toothy monster, Stephanie.
Very sharp teeth.
All right, but I love the oh shit look on Conan's face. Like, motherfucker, I got to deal with this shit. Like, I just had to slay a bunch of stuff. Why do I got to deal with this now? But let's get the audience reaction first. We'll of course, embiggen Stephanie here with this piece. And Brian LCS, love the hoop earrings. Mark Andrews says someone else did the hands. And
you're probably right.
I like Mark's. I like the sword on the back is awesome. The hilt is cool. I remember posing, Fanboy Prime. I remember posing for this. Oh, good one. But as more opinions are rolling in, Stephanie, what do you think of this piece?
This was my second favorite piece.
So I'm going to actually remove the piece, and that way, there you go.
Hey. Yeah, this was my second favorite piece. I don't think he's got too many muscles. Oh, it's on the cusp of too many muscles.
Right, Steve?
His hand might be a little small. It does look like someone else might have done it. I think Mark Andrews might be right about that. I love the hilt of the sword too. I love the water, the whole idea of the reflection in the water and like seeing it, like the whole idea of behind it is very smart. Yeah. What do you say? It looks like it needs a panda road. What did Ryan LCS say?
Right, a panda road to make it perfect. Looks great though. Yeah, and the things you need to do for a drink of water, right? Trev says pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I actually like this piece. I like the oranges in the background again, Stephanie. I don't know if the background does anything for you, but I like that there's not an overabundance of stuff in the background because what you want to focus on is what's going on in the forefront.
Yeah. Definitely this one and the other one have the same composition, you know, very central.
Right.
Just straight up the middle, symmetrical almost, you know.
So not a coincidence that they're your two favorites.
I know, but this is my but this is the best he's done, and the atmosphere behind him looks like everything that behind him has been set on fire and it's burning, you know, and like that's the smoldering, you know.
Well, that's why he's thirsty.
Him.
You know, burning things up is thirsty work, Stephanie.
Oh yeah.
You got.
I really enjoy this one though. I wish he had a different haircut though.
Right. And I like what Mark Andrews is saying here. Beekman did an awesome job in the eyes on this one. Yeah, because the whole thing that sells this piece to me, Stephanie, I don't know if you agree, is Conan's expression. Like he is not happy to look up and see that he's got one more thing to deal with.
No, he really captured the moment for sure. He captured the moment. Like it, but not my fave.
Right. Babe says Conan needs a breather filter. Well, Boar, how you doing?
Well, Boar.
But obviously, now overall, though, you said you really enjoyed this portfolio from Doug Beekman.
I did.
All right, and we'll do kind of like we did last week. If you had to give it a rating, best to worst, 1 being the worst, 2 being the 5 being the best, what would you rate this portfolio? Last week you gave Bart Sears a 4. How does Doug Beekman stack up next to that?
I gotta give him a 4 too.
Nice. Yeah. I would agree.
I just gotta say, like, I know I'm picking on him because of his small hands, but this is amazing. You know, like this coming out of someone's mind is just amazing, I think.
Right. And he knows how to create a world with his art. He creates a world, regardless of what you may think of some of the things in it. There's an effective world building in his pictures.
Right. Yep, I love it, and I think, and I really enjoy the muscles. You know, I like the chest muscles on him. I think he does a fantastic job of all that.
4 out of 5, fanboy. We do a 1 through 5 scale. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Yeah, I think for the muscles on their stuff, I thought the shoulders were really good.
Mm-hmm. The chest was always really good.
I think Stephanie did Google him, Mark, because he has a ton of work. I mean, I have more of his work here, but it's just on the comics and on the covers.
Okay.
There's one on a cover I have that I just don't like the face on it at all. The face is so messed up. But then he has one on Call Veil of Shadows, or something that I really like. And so Brian is saying you're a chess guy, madam.
I think Brian knows.
She does comment on the chest quite a bit.
And back muscles are nice too.
But all right, so overall, a 4 out of 5. So that's not bad. So two weeks in a row, I think pretty strong portfolios. And as I'm grabbing the other ones for you to choose from, Stephanie, do you want to tell them, pitch your idea of what some of our future shows may encompass? They're not going to be Savage Saturday shows. They have to do with people's collections, and I'm going to make Stephanie big and let her talk about that a second. so she can tell you guys what her pitch is for some future shows from her and I.
Okay. I was gonna go back to Phil Tastic's comic art comment, but you can do that.
Oh,
in a
go
second.
ahead.
No, that's okay. We'll go back to him because he made a nice comment and a question for us. But I was thinking it would be fun if we did. I mean, I'm a sculptor right now by trade, and I really enjoy sculptures and 3D art. And I would really think it'd be cool if we looked at sculptures and did like an art review of people's sculptures that you have, comic sculptures. And it always seems like, your sculptures or your dolls are always kind of like, your dirty little secret, like no one's really like busting them out, like, look at my beautiful doll. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a little on the hush hush. It's not like something you like go to the office with, and you're like, look at my cool comic book doll I got. And I thought it'd be cool if we just all got out your dolls and checked them out and talked about them and critiqued them and see which one looks the best,
Right. And I think that's good. Now, to do this and to do it well, what we would need to do is for everyone to start sending Stephanie and I multiple pictures of whatever it is you want us to critique statue-wise. So if you have a statue that you want us to look at and critique or action figure, send us both the multiple pictures of it from different angles, because we're going to need all the angles possible. And then depending on, Stephanie and I will have to decide, depending on how many pictures we get from people, how many we're going to do in a show. It might be one, it might be two or three, who knows? But is that kind of how you envision it, Stephanie?
Everyone's mad at me.
Something's got to go in. What's that?
I said everyone's mad at me for calling them dolls. Look it up in the dictionary.
We're just being oversensitive. Don't worry about it.
Action figures are dolls, people. Action figures, Stephanie, action figures.
Now, Stephanie, I would definitely say this one is a doll.
That looks like a doll. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a Xena doll. I love Xena. Cool.
I did not know that you love Xena, actually.
Yes, I was a huge Xena watcher back in the day. Watch with all my friends in college. I used to love it. I think I was so hilarious that I used to love all the, the funny stuff. Lucy Lawless was great, I thought.
Yeah, and still is.
Yes.
She was great on Ash versus the Evil Dead as Ruby. Oh, she was good
in that. What was that? Spartacus.
Yep.
Yeah. She got
a lot of guys liked her in Spartacus for different reasons, Stephanie.
I actually heard that during her shoot, like her daughter was like on production, and she was like during this production, she did like this really sexy shoot, and she was so embarrassed because her daughter had to like help film it or something.
Oh, her poor kid. Well, you got Trev saying Xena cosplay.
I don't have one yet, so maybe.
Well, we established last week that Stephanie's wardrobe lacks on the Savage attire. She's got to get with the program here and get some Savage things to wear. So she already knows that's a weak spot in her cosplay. But no, it's cool. I did not know you were a Xena fan. I got heavy into the comics, so I've been reading those and getting those as those back issues. But for the statues, guys, if you are really behind that idea, and I'll make a post on Instagram to try to get people behind it. What Stephanie and I will do to actually be able to make one of those shows is you guys got like 4 more weeks to send us pictures of your statues for Stephanie and I to review and discuss what we want to look at. So start sending in pictures of your dolls or action figures or sculptures.
Works of art.
You want to call it. Right.
Works of art. Fine art.
Well, you got Jackson Roykirk saying she doesn't have the stuff at home, Jackson. She said it last week.
For what? For yeah. I don't have a chainmail bikini.
Oh, Brian, I could do that for you, but you won't be happy about it. And I don't want to make your Saturday playlist.
Brian, we all know under your panda robe you're wearing a loincloth.
If you don't like Xena, does that make you xenophobic? Nice. Oh, exactly, Trev. Oh goodness. But oh, deep thoughts, Phil. Yep. But I don't know. I think that would be a fun series, Stephanie. So guys, if you want us to critique it, start sending us pictures. Make
Yeah.
sure we get lots of angles from whatever it is you're sending us, so we can look at it properly. Now, Stephanie, I'm going to hold up the portfolios, and you're going to pick next week's.
Okay.
All right. So this is, of course, this one's always going to be my least favorite one, but who knows? It might get saved for last, depending on what you think or not. But oh, I got to make myself big on this one, huh? See. Da, da, da. All right. Sorry, Steph.
Okay.
All right. So this is the Doug Beekman one. Not Michael Golden.
Okay.
Sorry, we
Goldman?
were doing Doug Beekman today, so he was stuck on my head.
Wow.
All right, so that's Michael Golden.
Goldman.
And this one is this guy. This guy is great. This is Nestor Redondo.
Redondo. Ooh.
like
Really
normal-
good stuff there. Wow, what a talent.
And like normal, Stephanie, I will send you all the pictures today at some point.
Okay.
Whatever you choose. This one's going to be my favorite, regardless, because it's the best guy to ever do it, in my opinion, and that's Nestor. Aside, of course, from Frank Frazetta, and this is Nestor Earl Norham.
Wow.
And Earl Norham was just spectacular in every way. I don't think there's an Earl Norham picture that I don't like. That's how much I like him.
Okay.
And then next is Joe Jusko. And believe it or not, people are going to hate me for this, Stephanie, but Joe Jusko can be hit or miss for me.
Oh.
So sometimes I think his faces
Is
are
this a
wrong.
hit or miss then you're showing me here?
This one's a hit.
Okay.
All right, but he definitely has some misses for me.
Okay. What's the Redondo one again? Can you show me Redondo?
I can.
Thank you.
I have the technology.
Yeah. And Phil is saying, I like Nestor. I've never seen it before. It looks almost like a Renaissance piece to me. And that's exactly what I was thinking, Phil. I was thinking it's very Rubenesque. The girls it looks very Renaissance with the dark shadows and very molded figures that are 3D sticking out. Yeah.
I like Jackson's thinking. Save Norm for last, so we end on a high note.
Okay.
And Izzy says Jusko is hit or miss for him too. Like, he just is. And I feel the same way about Alex Ross too, even though that gets me hate. I think a lot of his stuff is fantastic, but some of his stuff just throws me off.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've seen bad Alex Ross's?
I wouldn't consider any of it bad. Just stuff I just like. It doesn't do anything for me. I can't connect with it.
Okay. Cool.
Boris Vallejo is fantastic, Steve. Boris Vallejo and his son Dorian and his wife Julie Bell are all fantastic. And yeah, I think there's very Alex Ross's.
Yeah.
Like everyone goes crazy for the timeless cover. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like at all.
And the timeless covers are the ones where it's just the picture, just the portraits of everybody.
With the white background.
Right. I love those. I think those are great. But not all of them are great. You're right. Not all of them are fantastic.
Yeah, Dorian did a lot of the covers for Savage Sword of Conan, but he didn't put Vallejo on. He always wanted to be kind of on his own. So it just says Dorian on the covers.
Cool.
There's no such thing as hit or miss bad. I'm gonna have to fight you guys on that. But obviously, when it comes to art, I am the noob and I am the most untrained eye there is. So my opinion matters very little when it comes to art.
That's not true.
That's why we have Stephanie here.
No, that's not true. Your opinion matters because everyone's opinion matters about art because it's for everyone to view and everyone to have an opinion on. Do you know what I mean? So your opinion absolutely matters.
Well, thank you, Steph.
Yeah, come on.
But all right, so
you are the audience.
Redondo? You want
Redondo.
Redondo for next week? Okay. So then, all right. I think I'm going to go with Jackson though, and I think we'll save Earl Norm for last.
Okay.
So then next week you'll have a choice between two other ones,
Okay.
and then but Stephanie, I think a really fun show. It was really great getting your opinions on Doug Beekman. A lot of great stuff there. Again, guys, Stephanie's birthday tomorrow. Make sure you guys all wish her a happy birthday. So she is. Rumor has it she's going to be 28. So we have that.
Oh,
Just what rumors are saying.
20 years off. 20 years off.
Right. Beautiful at any age, Stephanie.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
So
Raging
Stephanie,
Comics came in. Raging Comics is high.
have not.
And
I've heard great things about Echolands, though, Steve. Izzyverse says I have a great eye for art. Don't sell myself short. Thank you, Izzy. And yes, let's plug this while we're going. Stephanie, you are appearing on another show tomorrow. Would you like to give it a plug?
yes, Matt Woods.
Matt Woods,
Matt
everybody.
Woods. It's just someone I've created into a drinking game. Used to be a drinking game. Matt Woods is going to have me on his show tomorrow at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time, and we're going to be talking about. He's going to be talking about why we should be collecting comics, and I'm going to be talking about why you should probably stop collecting comics.
Ooh, controversial.
Should be a good show. And I also have these Pokemon packs from the Scarlet and Violet series. I bought a big trainer pack, and I'm going to open those up at the end of the show.
I didn't know you were into Pokemon.
I'm not really. My son is though.
Oh,
and
okay.
I just happened, Gary. It's so weird because I'm ahead of the times because I have named my daughter Scarlet and Violet, and so they now have a Pokemon series named after them.
Right. Well, so you could take credit. I think Pokemon owes you some money, huh?
They do. Copyright.
That's right. Yeah, they got to put it into the college funds for the girls.
Yeah, right.
Nice. But no, great show. Stephanie, thank you as always for your time and your opinions. They are very much valued. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for coming out and making it another fantastic show. We have so much fun interacting with you guys. And again, next week, Nestor Redondo, Stephanie and I will be here for Savage Saturday Comic Review, episode 110, where we promise to have just as much fun next week as we had this week. And Stephanie, do you have anything that you have picked out thus far on who you're appearing as next week?
I'm flirting with Scarlet Witch. I think might be coming out.
Ooh, very nice. And again, Stephanie already knows this. I think she has the perfect face for Scarlet Witch.
Yes. So therefore, she will be appearing like magic.
Right. But
Philtastic has a question though. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Really wants Philtastic, don't leave. I'm going to answer your question.
I'm trying to find it.
He wanted to know what other artist who hasn't done Conan yet, who we'd like to see do Conan.
Oh, who hasn't done? Well, Roberto De La Torre has done Conan. He's coming out in the Titan comic. But who hasn't done him that I'd like to see? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say Philip Tan. I'd like to see what he could do at that sort of time period.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him at all.
All right, so he was an artist on the Noctera series. If you're familiar with Noctera, if not, I'll send you a few pics of it.
Okay.
Because he has a more modern kind of style with like a Michael Turner and J. Scott Campbell, like that kind of stuff. But I'd like to see what he could do with a Conan time period.
Yeah.
Like I have J. Scott Campbell Conan, and that's the Conan he did is kind of a miss for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he drew it off really quick, and I'll send you a picture of that if you're ever curious.
Okay.
But I have a couple of them.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep talking over you.
You're fine. We both do it to each other all the time. It's fine. Go ahead.
Phil, I was gonna say I would be really interested since Jenny Frisian is such a big I'm such a fan of hers right now. I'd really like to see what she would do as Conan.
And Phil, Mark Texera already did Conan. I have it here. He did a whole story of Conan. Sorry, Stephanie. See, it was me that overtalked you this time.
That's okay.
You got to give me the bracelets, right?
Frisian is fire. You're right, Trav.
Right? And I would actually like to see Jen Bartel do Conan as well. And I would like to see Celine's done great with Red Sonja. I'd like to see Celine do Conan too.
Steve Smith said my wife said Frisian as well. Yeah. Because I mean, it would be so different than everything that's been done. Because all the Conans that have been done, it just looks like they're very painterly and they're very detailed. And Frisian has a different style where not everything is so detailed. She does a lot of like flat spaces, you know. So it'd be interesting to see her take on that for sure.
I think with the portfolios we're looking at, Stephanie, they were a product of a certain time period, so they all kind of have that feel to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's supposed to unaware. Delmondo may be good based on his weird work. Yeah. But Izzy is saying I'm not familiar with this artist. Seb McKinnon. Never heard of that artist. So
I'm not sure who that is.
Right. I don't even know if it's male or female. Jay Lee could be good. I have a love-hate with Jay Lee too. Sometimes he's good. Sometimes he draws his people of strength a little too wafy for me. A little too thin. And very Frazetta influenced. All right. CJ Designs. But yeah, great stuff. So next week, Nestor Redondo.
All
right, tomorrow night, not only is it Stephanie's birthday, where she's 28, she's also on Matt Wood's channel. Check that out. Yay! And in 8 minutes, you all need to go over to Digger Jim's channel where he's having his 300 subscriber giveaway show and celebrating his 300 subscribers. Oh. So we'll all go support my buddy Jim, who's a great guy. And Stephanie, as always, a great pleasure to spend the time and to get your opinions. I really appreciate your informed opinion next to my noob opinion on art.
Your noob opinion, but your very valued noob opinion.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And guys, until next time, keep it casual.